Two teenage boys walked into a luxury car dealership. They looked modest. Plain white t-shirts, camo shorts, and worn sneakers. No flashy watches, no luxury logos, just curiosity and a spark of dreams in their eyes. They walked up to an ultra-luxury car, eyes wide with excitement, and asked a few questions. A sharply dressed salesman gave them a once-over filled with disdain. He sneered, "I think you boys are in the wrong place." Then, to make things perfectly clear, he added, "The starting price here is $800,000. Snickers erupted from other staff and nearby customers. The boys froze. Their faces dropped. No arguments, no comebacks. They simply nodded and turned to leave. As the glass doors closed behind them, their dreams seemed to shatter with the laughter and mocking glances. They got on their bicycles and rode away, quiet and disheartened. Just as the boys were about to pedal off, a voice called out behind them, "Wait a second." They stopped and turned. A woman stepped out from behind a desk tucked in a dimly lit corner. She wore a cream blouse, black slacks, her hair neatly tied back. Her face was calm, kind, without judgment. She asked gently, "Would you two have a moment to spare?" The boys exchanged glances, then wheeled their bikes back. She led them to the car they had been ridiculed for admiring. With a soft, professional tone, she said, "I heard you asking about this model. It's one of our top-tier vehicles. Let me walk you through it." Instead of mentioning price, she talked about the engine, performance, design history, and integrated technology. She crouched slightly so they could speak eye to eye, handed them brochures, and patiently explained each detail. The boys didn't ask about cost. They asked about mechanics, origins, differences between models, things even adults rarely ask. Then she asked, "Would you like to sit inside?" Their eyes lit up. "Really?" "I'm serious," she smiled. They took turns sitting in the driver's seat. No photos, no fooling around, just quiet appreciation. Before they left, she gave them her business card. "If you ever want to know more, just call me. You're always welcome here." They bowed slightly, eyes bright. This time they left with heads held high. When they got home, to a quiet, elegant mansion atop a hill, they said nothing. The house, with glass walls, marble floors, and minimalist decor, radiated understated class. They walked past an art-like chandelier, down a hallway once filled with the sound of piano, and stopped before a heavy wooden door, their father's study. Inside, their father sat beside a grand piano. He wasn't playing. A glass of untouched whiskey sat nearby. He was the kind of man you didn't interrupt, not out of fear, but because his presence commanded respect. As the boys entered, he looked up, calm. "Home early?" "Yes, sir." The older one began, then paused. "Didn't go too well, Dad." He motioned them to sit by the fireplace. The room fell silent. Then they spoke, one after another. The elder began hesitantly. The younger continued, detailing how they had been laughed at, dismissed, humiliated. When they mentioned the kind woman who treated them kindly, their father's gaze didn't change. No anger, no shock, just quiet focus. Then he asked, "Did she know who you were?" "No, sir. We didn't say." "Good," he nodded slightly. He stood, walked to the window, and stared at the setting sun. "Thank you for telling me." That evening, after a silent dinner, the father entered his study alone and closed the door. He picked up the phone and made a short but firm call. "I need 2 vehicles delivered to the dealership by 8 a.m. tomorrow. Not a minute late." His voice was calm but resolute. A pause. Then he added, "Not in the usual way. Have drivers wait outside the showroom. I want it to be seen, on time." Another pause. Then quietly, "It's time they remembered. Not everyone in simple clothes is insignificant." He set down the phone and leaned back. His mind wasn't filled with rage, but with resolve. His sons had been judged by their appearance. Tomorrow he would show the world what real class looks like. And it doesn't need to shout. The next morning, as the first light touched the pavement, 2 Rolls-Royce boat tails glided in front of the dealership. One black with silver accents, the other a royal blue dusted with rose gold shimmer like champagne in sunlight. These weren't just cars, they were symbols. They floated with quiet power. Everyone inside froze. A couple mid-tour paused. A man slowly lowered his sunglasses for a clearer view. Someone in the lounge spilled their coffee. Staff, clients, managers, everyone came to the window, eyes fixed. Then, the rear door of the blue boat tail opened. The two boys stepped out, wearing the same outfits as yesterday, plain white tees, camo shorts, and old sneakers. No flash, no arrogance, just quiet confidence. They walked to the black car, where the rear door opened again. Their father emerged, dark gray suit, composed demeanor. He didn't walk in, he arrived. Each step changed the room's atmosphere. He approached the front desk, his sons behind him. "I'd like to speak to the person who helped my sons yesterday," he said firmly. A male employee rushed forward. "Sir, that was me." "No, not you." The father's eyes silenced him. He turned to the manager. "You still have yesterday's security footage?" "Yes, sir," the manager replied, clearly nervous. "Good. Check it before we continue." The manager disappeared. Tension filled the air. Staff now realized who the boys truly were. 5 minutes later, the manager returned. "Sir, the woman who helped them. Her name is Emma." The father nodded, then faced the smug salesman. "You judged my sons not by their character, but by their clothes." The man tried to speak, but couldn't. "You mocked them, dismissed them, thought they were unworthy. But it's you who is unworthy." The manager added, "Effective immediately. You're fired." No one objected. The salesman gathered his things and walked past the very boys he had mocked. Once calm returned, the father said, "Please call Emma for me." She stepped out, puzzled. Her eyes lit up seeing the boys. "Is something wrong?" she asked. "Everything's just right," the father smiled, for the first time that day. "You treated my sons with respect. You didn't know who they were and still offered kindness." She blushed. "They were so polite, so curious. I enjoyed talking to them." The father looked at the car they had admired. "They told me they liked this one." Silence. "I'll take it. Top package. Every option they asked about. And the full commission. Give it to her." Emma's eyes widened. "That car, it's over $3 million. He nodded. "Make it 3.1. Prepare the paperwork." He signed the contract, right at the same desk where his sons were mocked the day before. When it was done, he handed the keys to his sons. Early birthday gift. They took them, not shouting, not boasting, just a grateful bow. They walked out, not boys who had been looked down on, but young men now recognized. The car rolled away from the showroom. Staff, customers, even the manager, silent, no laughter, no comments. Because that day they all understood. This wasn't just about buying a car. It was a lesson, an expensive one, about respect.